All right, we're there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Geeks on Tour. What does this button do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with the Geeks on Tour. All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Jim, and with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks Who Teach. And so today we're going to do another one of these shows. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? Do you have questions about your Android or iPad tablet? How do you learn about these amazing devices?
You know, I do know a few people that get frustrated using these new things.
Well, we think the best way to learn about anything is to teach it to others. So, and we're Geeks Who Teach. We're into lifelong learning and helping others learn the technology along the way. So there's Chris. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And with us today, we have Judy McDowell. Say hi, Judy.
Hi, glad to be with you again this week.
And
Okay.
where? Tell them where you are, Judy.
Well, I'm in the Quad Cities of Illinois. Actually, it's 5 cities on both sides of the river of Iowa and Illinois. And so Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, Bettendorf, and East Moline.
Cool.
Wow. And Judy is president of the Quad Cities Computer Society, and every time we go through that part of the country, we stop and do a seminar for their club. So we've developed quite a nice relationship with your club. In fact, we're doing another one. We're doing a remote one tomorrow, right, Judy?
Yes, we're looking forward to that. We're calling it kind of a follow-up to your live visit here a month or two ago. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's going to be about, I think, questions about smartphones again, probably, and photos.
So that's why we're doing a lot of practice with you, so we should have it go smoothly for your group tomorrow night.
Yes, thank you.
Hopefully that'll go smoothly. On our website, geeksontour.com, you can find hundreds of tutorial videos on all the subjects that we teach. Okay?
Including smartphones. And even this show, we have all the episodes are archived if you go to geeksontour.com/weekly show. So what's this, Jim? Warning.
Learning smartphones can lead to dependency. I don't know if you can see that, but in your mind, you're telling the phone what to do, but in the phone's mind, it's telling you what to do. So who's really in charge here?
It does get to be the point. I mean, we had a day off the other day. We're in the Olympic Peninsula area of Washington, and we took a ferry ride, and that phone, I tried to put it away in my pocket, but then I wanted to take a picture, so I had to bring it out. I put it back in my pocket. Then I wanted to look up something on the map. I had to take it out. Then I put it back in my pocket. Anyway, I just couldn't keep it in my pocket. That phone is, once you learn all these things, it becomes just so valuable.
Okay. Well, where we are today is on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington and way up northwest. And where we did our show last week was in
Kennewick.
Right. So we've been traveling.
Southeastern Washington.
Right. So we're up at the other end. We're spending a couple of days here at a wonderful friend's place, and it is just so nice to be able to do this.
Driveway camping, our favorite. And their last name is Gundy, Greg and Marilyn. Hi, I hope you're in there watching on your computers. And their last name is Gundy, so their blog is called Gundyville.blogspot. But now that they are off the road, they were RVers, now that they're off the road, they have this gorgeous garden. And so we are calling this RV spot Gundyville Gardens. You can see our RV back in the background there.
Cool.
So thanks, Greg and Marilyn. We're having a great time. And we're so glad that you have an internet connection here, too. Verizon's doing pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to try and be organized about the show and keep it to about a half an hour. We'll see how that goes. Chris will start with a beginner's lesson, something that's important for beginners to know about their phones, and we'll show both the iPad and the Android in the segment. Chris has a new Samsung Galaxy S5, and so she'll be showing some stuff that she's learned about that. I'll have the app of the week and a random tip for what we're doing here. And we'll do questions. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments down at the bottom here, and ask them, and we'll try to get to them during the show, or we'll address them certainly afterwards. Okay, and we, as Chris said, the show is recorded and be available for viewing later on. Are you ready, Chris?
I think I am, but let's just ask Judy. Do you see any comments, questions before we get started?
No, just some people saying they're here. If you'd like to say hi to Vern Phoenix is here, Laura Baker, cool. And Greg
Laura,
Grundy.
Hey, and Greg. Okay, so you are on. Cool. Okay. Right. Then we are. So hello, everybody. That's Laura. She's actually in Disney, I think, this weekend in Florida. And Greg is right here. And then somebody in Phoenix. Awesome. So what am I supposed to do now, Jim?
Well, well, before we get into something that you're doing, let's just talk quick about news from around the industry. Verizon has just announced new restrictions on the users. So if you have an unlimited data plan and you're on Verizon, we've been telling you forever to keep that plan as long as you can. But come this October, Verizon says they call it network optimization practices, but basically what they're going to do, if you are hogging bandwidth, they will slow you down on the cell tower that is being affected. They say that they won't be affected if you're not hogging the bandwidth, but even as little as 4.7 gigabytes per month will put you into that 5%er of the biggest users, and that's what they're looking at. So you want to be careful and keep an eye on this thing. Check out our friends at technomadia.com/internet to stay up with all of that internet on the road information.
Yeah, and that could be a problem. We have unlimited, and if we don't, we might not be able to keep doing this show. We are using our internet connections through our phones and Verizon in order to produce this show. So our beginner's lesson for this week is about email. This is not going to be a comprehensive lesson on how to set up your email because there is just so many different ways. Everybody uses a different email service. Everybody uses a different software for doing their inbox. But we do think there's one thing that's really, really important. When you start using a bunch of mobile devices, you want your email to be synchronized. Now, if yours is, then you're fine. If not, we're going to show you how we do it. First, I want to show you just what do I mean. So I'm going to take you to a screenshot of my email on the computer first. So I'm going to share my screen. And people should now be seeing my inbox. Now, I use Gmail. Now, using Gmail does not necessarily mean that I'm using a Gmail address. People send me email to chris@geeksontour.com or to jimandchris@geeksontour.com. And if you can see here, this is my Gmail inbox, and it's telling me this email was sent to jimandchris@geeksontour.com, but Gmail is fetching that and showing it to me in this integrated inbox. And we have articles on our website about how to do this or use the Gmail's help. But I'll show you just quickly. It's under Settings. Settings is always that gear. And then Settings.
Go faster.
Okay, yeah,
Go
right.
faster.
And then under accounts and import, and here, check mail from other accounts. So my Gmail inbox is checking my Chris at geeksontour.com, my Chris Gould at outlook.com, Geeks on Tour at Gmail, and Jim and Chris at Geeks on Tour. I can add several to that. But I am only logged in to Gmail as Chris Gould at gmail.com. So I log in once and my inbox has these emails from everywhere. So that's number one. That's the reason why we use Gmail. Now, other systems can do that too. So here's the key. And Gmail has this things that it divides my emails up into primary, social, and promotions. What I want to show you is about deleting. So I know I'm going to feel comfortable finding some messages to delete in my social group. But first, let me switch over, or Jim, you switch over so that people are seeing the iPad.
Got it. Go ahead.
All right. So that the main point was we use Gmail,
Come down a little bit.
even though we don't use the
There you
Gmail
go.
address, we use the Gmail inbox. So on an iPad, what we're saying is do not use the email app that came with the iPad. Now, where is it? That one right there. That blue mail. That is the one that came with the iPad. And note, I use it to check my Apple Mail just for fun, just to have it. You cannot get rid of it. This app came with your iPad, and it is what gets set up if you go into settings and mail, contacts, and calendar. That is that mail app. I say don't use that. Instead, we downloaded the Gmail app. How do you do that? You go to the App Store and you look for Gmail. Gmail app for iPad. And then all you have to do is put your one Gmail address. For me, that would be chrisgould at gmail.com, and you're going to see the exact same inbox on the iPad as you do on your computer. Well,
that's going mighty fast,
yeah,
isn't it?
really, really. Well, I have already downloaded it. I just wanted to show you that is what you would do. And here is my Gmail app. And the same thing on the iPad, we have the primary inbox, the social, and the promotions. Okay, so I go into social, and let's look. I have the first message is Eileen, Jim, and David. Then there's Eve and Rex. Anonymous, what do you think? I think I can delete messages from Anonymous. I meant to point that out on my computer before I went to the iPad, but trust me, I'm looking at the computer right now and I see 3 messages from Anonymous. On the iPad, I'm going to just check the little box next to the anonymous ones, and then I'll tap on the trash can, and those are deleted. Now then, I'm going to go back to the computer, or Jim, you need to switch the view back over to the
Got it.
to my,
go ahead.
Okay, and those 3 anonymous are still there right now, but as soon as I refresh, or if we waited for 5 minutes or so, I'm going to click refresh, and those anonymous ones are gone. Okay, so if you can do that with how your phone, tablet, and email system is set up, then you're golden. That's fine. That's all that. If you can do that, but if you can't, the way we do it is by using Gmail. So let me now go to the phone. So back over to the device.
Okay.
And So now I'm on my phone, and this is a Samsung Galaxy S5, but it doesn't really matter. Any phone, even iPhone, that can download the Gmail app. So same thing on these. There is an email app that comes with the device. There, that one with the little red @ sign on it. But I haven't even set it up. And it suggests for Gmail account, use Gmail app. So I have it on my home screen. I have, I wanted to mention, for those of you who watched, for those of you who watched our episode last week, we talked about how to organize your home screens, and my home screen was a mess last week. Well, after having gone through that organize session, I did it. So look at that, social, travel, cloud, all my travel apps are in one place.
You're so organized. I can't
All
believe it.
my cloud are in one place. All my social apps are in one place. I love it. So there's my Gmail. And same thing, and I'm just logged into my one Gmail account, but because I set it up using all the settings on the computer, I have the same setup here. And notice those anonymous, well, the first 3 anonymous ones are gone. Now there's another one, so I'm going to tap on that and tap delete. And let's just delete them all. I mean, the social means these are messages that are coming from Facebook or Google Plus, and I know that I can always just go to Google Plus and see these. So I'm deleting this one that has 24 items, and I'm deleting Eve Chassin and Rex Vogel and Chuck Kahn. Tap the trash can. And now back to the computer, Jim.
Uh-huh.
And so same thing. And I happen to be on an Apple computer here, but trust me, it's the exact same thing if I was on my Windows computer. So I can look at my email on any device that happens to be in front of me. And if I delete from one, it's deleted from all. I'm going to click on refresh, and we should see these first 5 or 6 go away.
Go away.
Yay! Yay! It worked.
I love it when a plan comes together.
That's always a good thing. So, so there you go. If you can do that with the way yours is set up, then give yourself a pat on the back, all is well. But if you can't, and we say that you should just use the Gmail app and set it up with one Gmail account, but let it fetch all your others, and then you can use it. And I will stop screen sharing now. Okay, so any questions on that?
Anything over there, Judy? You see anything?
I don't see any questions, but we did have a comment a while back, and I think this seems to be a problem off and on, that somebody cannot hear or see you. What is usually the reason for that?
Gosh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. A lot of times, if you cannot see or hear us and you are on the event page, it's usually a problem at your end with bandwidth. Bandwidth is a huge issue when it comes to any of these shows or streaming video. It's just, you know, but if other people are out there and hearing and seeing us, then the problem is not with our broadcast like it was a couple of weeks ago where we didn't have any sound for a couple of minutes, but that's how we do it. Okay.
All right, so Jim, are you ready to show your app of the week, or do you want me to do my next thing?
Why don't you go ahead, and I'll get my Pandora set up.
Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is on the Samsung S5. That's the new phone that it seems like everybody is getting. If you're in the Android world anyway, seems like everybody's getting the Samsung S5. It's an Android phone, and one of the main reasons we got it is because you can replace the battery. Did we just? Okay. And so I'm going to show you, Jim. You need to switch over to the.
Got it. Go ahead.
Okay. So how do you do that? So this is the Samsung S5, and if you look closely, right above the power button, there's a little lip, little edge, little hole, I guess, that
Bring
you
it
can.
down a little bit. There you go. I can see it now.
That you can stick your thumbnail in, and it's just a flimsy little plastic, and you can just take it right off, and there's the battery. You can pop it out. I'm not going to because I'm getting my internet connection from this, and the screen would just go black if I did that. And there's also a little slot there for a micro SD card to increase the space available to store pictures. So one other thing to notice here is, see this gasket in the cover, on the inside of the cover, there's this little bit of a gasket. That's what makes the phone water resistant. So when you put the cover back on, you have to make sure that it gets snapped into place all the way around, because that does give you a water, not proof, but resistant seal. Now that I've never tested. I have seen some videos of people jumping into a swimming pool and taking underwater video up to 10 feet with these. I don't think I'm going to try that. Okay, so that's my Samsung S5 tip of the week.
Okay. I like your tip of the week. It's always informative. All right.
And those batteries, by the way, are like $20. If you, when we get to the point of needing to replace our battery, easily done. Easily done. Or even carry an extra one with you, so you're never going to get run out of juice.
Okay, it's time for my app of the week. And this week, the app is going to be Pandora. If you like listening to music, like I do, and I used to listen to it a lot more, you can get a free app for Androids or iDevices and to play music. And it's a radio station, and you create your own radio station. So it's free for Android and iDevices. Or if you want to, you can pay $4.99 a month for ad-free and some added functionality. Basically, all you need to do is download the app from the iTunes or the App Store or the Play Store for Google. You set up a free account. You have to have an account, and then you pick an artist or a genre that you really like to use and start listening. You can add more stations to match your mood, and you can even share your stuff with your friends. One thing that you really need to understand about is bandwidth. And those of us with metered connections where we have to pay for every gigabyte that goes on, you folks that have homes and internet through the cable or the phone, you're better off. But if you're metered data, figure about 72 megabytes per hour of streaming audio, which is a lot less than streaming video, isn't it? Okay?
Okay, just show them Pandora in the app.
Okay, I am going to change over to the screen. And Pandora. Bumpy, bumpy. Okay. And when I start it up, it comes up. I've already set up my stations, and it'll just start playing music from the last station that you were on. So if you have a good internet connection, you should be fine.
And this is actually something you can use old phones for too, right? Because just because a phone isn't your phone anymore doesn't mean it can't be a handheld computer attaching to Wi-Fi and playing music via Pandora.
Okay. Whoops, it's kind of loud, isn't it? Okay, but look at all the different stations that I have over here. I have one that says calm meditation audio music. that's when I want to take a nap in the afternoon. But
I
all
have a
kinds
white
of,
noise app for that.
yeah. So you can, any kind of music that you like, you can have, and they'll just pick music that is of that genre, like music, like artists, things like that. So that is really a cool app to have, and you'll never be without music wherever you are. Let's see, I
And
wanted to show that.
how much does that cost?
Well, it's free, and
But what do you get with the free? That's you see ads though, right?
yeah, you see ads, and that's okay. It doesn't really bother me to have ads, and but some people are bothered by it, and they stop and they talk to you every once in a while. But with the paid for app, you can actually there are no ads. You can skip songs more often, and you can get higher bandwidth sound, so higher resolution sound. So those are the things that are really good to have with that.
And what is the device that you just showed that using?
Well, that was my what was that? That was my Nexus 7. That was my tablet. I keep that tablet by the bed. It's actually velcroed to the wall next to my bed, and that's what I use to listen to music, to check my email, and I can delete emails that are junk even before I get up out of bed. How's that for laziness? But there are a lot of other apps out there that do kind of like the same thing. There's Google Play Music, there's iTunes, Spotify, iHeart Music, and all you need to do is do a little bit of search, and you'll find all of those things. Okay?
Okay, the last thing
I got a question for you.
Okay.
There you go. Can you see that?
Yeah. David says I use small, but
Gmail.
Oh, I use Gmail, but front end it on my computer with Outlook. Oh, okay. Is there any way to use the Gmail app on my S5 to move stuff from Gmail to different folders in Outlook? That's a good question, David. My answer would probably be no. In the Gmail app, you're just using the Gmail app. When you're using Outlook, Outlook is a client-based email program. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to have two different applications trying to manage the same information, and that doesn't work. Outlook downloads the emails from your Gmail inbox and keeps them there. So anything that you do on Gmail is not going to have any effect on your Outlook. I hope that answers your question.
And I have one more comment.
Okay.
Okay, Laura Baker asks, I had this problem on the web page but switched over to YouTube and it was fine. Okay, our videos, these shows are going out live both on Google Plus and on YouTube. YouTube automatically records these for us and stores them so we can go back and we can edit them and we can save them for later and we can archive all of these emails. So if you're having problems on the web page, and another thing that we recommend is if you're using the Google Plus stuff, use Chrome as your browser. They just work so much better together than any of the other browsers out there. Just a thought. Chris?
Okay, one more question about Pandora.
Okay, Bev says, how do you put Pandora on an old phone that doesn't have internet access? Well, you have to have internet access somewhere along the line in order to get an app onto your phone. So typically the best way is to connect it to a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now you're on the internet, you can go in, you can go to the Play Store and download the apps that you want to use. And that's how we did ours for the iPrint.
Yeah, so Wi-Fi is the answer to that. I want to make another comment on Outlook. We used Outlook for years and years and years and years and considered continuing it once we used Gmail, but just using the Gmail app using Gmail natively across all your devices is just so much more efficient. Now, some people say, but I need to be able to access my email when I'm offline on my computer. Gmail does have an offline feature. I don't use it because we're just always online, but you can get it offline. And even though it doesn't have the same folders that Outlook does, it has what's called labels that work just the same way. So that would be our recommendation regarding Outlook.
One more question. One more question about Gmail.
Okay, I have several Gmail accounts. How can I use the app with several accounts? Chris?
Well, yeah, Gmail can get all of them. You just make one be the one that you log in with and add all your others in those settings where you tell it to fetch your other accounts. I noticed I did have one other Gmail account that it was fetching, as well as non-Gmail accounts. So you log in with one Gmail account, you tell your inbox settings to go fetch your other Gmail accounts, and then label them automatically when they come in.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. That sounds great. There's a big question that we get all the time and we just go crazy over it. So how do I print from my mobile print app? How do I print from my mobile device, either my phone or a tablet? And you know,
I just don't do that. I print from my computer, but I guess there are people out there now that just don't even have a computer handy. So there are ways to print from your device.
Okay. And we can show you how to do that very quickly. We have a Brother printer, and our Brother printer, if you want to print from your mobile device, it has more to do with your printer than your mobile device. So if you have an iPhone, the way that you print depends more on the actual printer that you own than the device that you're trying to print from. So with the new printers, especially the HP printers and the Epson printers, they're already capable of printing from your device. If you have an older printer, like we have a color laser printer that's networked, but it's not even wireless. It has to be plugged in directly to our network with a Cat5 cable, and it's fine, and it works great. The price was great, but in order to do ours, I have to use an app from Brother, which is called Brother iPrint and Scan, and you can actually print from your device doing that. And we'll put up some videos on how we did that because we're going to run out of time if we do. Do you want to show it?
Well, I think we should make a video, and we should tell people that we already made the video on how to do it from an iPad. And let me share my screen and show where that is. Just a second. Let me.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. So share, and we're going to this one. And this is where we will put a video about how to print from an Android device as well. So this is geeksontour.com or .tv, but .com is fine. You click on tutorial videos, and here are all our tutorial videos. Picasa is what we have the most of, how to make a blog. Here's the smartphones and tablets, and here's a few of them. Notice that the first ones here say free. Anybody can click and watch those videos. But if you want to see all of our smartphone tablet videos, you click there. And we have some videos that cover both Android and Apple. We have some that are iPad, Apple specific, and we have some that are Android specific. So here is how to print from iPad with or without AirPrint. And it goes through the detail. And I promise, maybe today, but here you do have to be a member in order to watch that video, and there's a nice handy little link that you can just join today. It's $58 a year, and you can get access to all of our videos. And I promise to have a video up within the next couple days on the printing from the Android. And maybe we'll show it to you next week in the show. Okay, that's it. Because, yeah, we don't want to, we like to keep this to as close to a half hour as we can. So.
Okay, I like that idea. I mean, how about it? Are you ready?
And we want to have time for questions. So just one last check. Are there any other questions, Judy?
Just one final comment that Vern Phoenix could not get connected at first, and finally he did, but not on Chrome.
Huh.
Well, everybody's computer is different, and I wish I could tell you why or what's happening. If you can't get it, try a different way. That's just typical of computers. There's more than one way to do almost everything, and if you can find the way that works for you, use it. And that's my best answer.
Okay. The wonderful thing about these Hangouts is that this Hangouts on air is that they get recorded. So let me make sure that you know where to go to see the archives. It's Geeks on Tour and then /weekly show. And the first thing you should always see is the current episode. And then down here is the past episodes with a brief description of what was covered. And then they will always be available for free on the Google Plus event page. But if you are a member, you can watch them on our website, and we include some transcript notes there. So if you just want to say, what was the name of that thing that they talked about? You don't have to watch through the whole show to see it. You can just glance at the notes if you're a Geeks on Tour member.
Okay. Did you learn something? Here's some questions. When you delete an email from your phone or tablet, is that email deleted when you view your inbox on the computer?
Well, it depends. Jim's favorite answer to every question, it depends. And this question is really more for you to just check that out on your system. If the answer is yes, then you're cool, you're good. If the answer is no, we recommend getting set up on Gmail so that the answer can be yes.
Okay, in order to set up your email system like the Geeks, you need to download and use what app?
Gmail. Don't use the email app that came with your device. Download Gmail.
Okay. A well-known music app, that was mine, that allows you to set up radio stations according to your taste in music is what?
Open that box. Pandora. There are others, though. That's just a very well-known one and one that we like.
Okay, true or false? In order to print from your phone, you must install an app related to your printer.
Absolutely true. Even if you have if you have AirPrint, then you don't. But if you have a Samsung device and a Samsung printer, it is quite easy, but there's still an app that you need, and you have to research your printer to find out what app you need.
Okay. Very good. And next week. So.
Next week, for the beginner's lesson, I'm going to talk about the back button. It's my favorite button on Android. The back button doesn't exist on the iDevices, but there's still a way to go back. So I'm going to do a little bit of contrast and compare and show you all the different ways that the back button can be used.
Okay, leave your questions in the comments on the on the event page on Google Plus or on YouTube, wherever you happen to be watching, and we'll try and get those on there. Next week I'll have an app of the week. I'm thinking of doing Liquor Run, but we'll see. You'll have to tune in to know for sure. So watch for the notification for next week's show. I'll put it up there as soon as I create the event. And make sure you click that you're coming. Say that even if it's just a maybe, a yes or no or a maybe, and leave any questions, even if you're not going to be there. So as soon as the show's set up, make sure that you click you're coming and leave any questions.
And thank you, Judy, for joining us and being our comment wrangler. We look forward to working with your group tomorrow. And thank you, Greg and Marilyn, for this wonderful parking spot and production studio capabilities.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. We really appreciate it. Okay. Are we about ready?
Yeah, so, you know, I've always been wondering, though, Jim, what does this button do?
Well, as soon as the credits roll, I don't know. We'll take which button? Which button are you on? Wait a minute.
Are you
now.
rolling credits?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, so what does this button do?
What button is that? Oh, don't touch that.